Hi skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome back to my basement one more time, at least, probably a few more times realistically. But welcome back. We're going to talk about another 2021 ski, and this time it's a Dynastar ski, the M-Free 108. Before we jump into it, we just wrapped up our Stay Home Happy Month with Rossignol. Bunch of cool entries in there. It was really fun. We kind of went through and judged them yesterday, so we'll be announcing winners tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. And along the same lines, I hope everyone's just staying happy, staying healthy, and staying positive. Whatever your current situation might be, I know certain things are changing in different areas of the country, so to speak. But yeah, I just hope everyone's healthy and happy and safe. So M-Free 108 from Dynastar. Really exciting ski. I really enjoy this ski. I really think they did a good job. I had a lot of fun skiing it this season. If you follow our channel or if you watch our reviews, almost 2 months ago now, we did a review of the M Pro 99. So essentially, Dynastar has an entire new collection of skis under the title M line, and that's kind of split into 4 different subcategories. So we get M Pro that we talked about, we get M Tour, which is more of a touring application ski. There's an M Vertical, which is like super lightweight touring ski, and then there's these M Frees. If you recall from that video, Dynastar is using what they're calling a hybrid core, and there's essentially different hybrid cores in each of these different sub-collections, so to speak. So this ski in particular is a blend of poplar and PU material, and we talked about that PU material a lot when we talked about the M Pro 99. It's basically the same material that they're using in like 130 flex ski boots. So, upper level ski boots. What's nice about plastic like that is it's a little bit lighter than some other additives that we see in ski construction. It's also very responsive and it's very smooth. There's also, there is a sheet of Titanal underfoot on these skis. Dynastar kind of lists it as binding retention, but anytime you do put a sheet of metal underfoot, it is adding to performance. That's something that it has shown to be true over and over and over again, is it's adding a little bit of stability underfoot, a little bit of dampness, stuff like that. Fiberglass too, there's fiberglass laminate. They call it like fiberglass torsion box. But pretty similar to what we see in other ski construction. And then it's all put together in sandwich construction with pretty much vertical sidewalls and 100% sidewalls. There's no real cap, although they do call the very top of it semi-cap construction. I've got Dynastar's catalog here. I'm not going to read straight from it, but basically what Dynastar is saying and what their engineers kind of set out to do is to provide a unique snow feel. And they picked that PU material because they really thought it was the best for delivering the feel that they were trying to get. These skis, Bob and I we brought Bob in, or I brought Bob in. We both had opportunities to ski this ski, so the last 2/3 of this video is going to be Bob and I chatting about performance. But just overall, before we go any further, they've got a really cool blend of feeling playful, but also smooth and stable, and like sometimes even relatively powerful. Tremendous soft snow performance overall. I mean, they're an absolute blast in soft snow. So that was construction. That's the gist of construction. Let's talk about shape too, because shape's really important in a ski like this. we'll start with the tips and tails. So plenty of rocker up there in the tip. It's progressive rocker, so it's not, some skis we look at and it looks like there's almost like a hinge. So it's like camber, 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 and then it just rises straight up. Like immediately there's a ton of splay. And on these, it's much more progressive. So even though the rocker starts about where my hand is, it's very subtle, slow rising until you get to about here where it starts the angle of the rocker starts to increase more dramatically. And the same is true in the tail. And that actually corresponds to the same kind of progression in the taper angle. So, the widest part of the ski is pretty far back here, like about right there. But it's not, it's not a drastic taper angle like we see in some other skis, which gives this ski, I think that shape is really one of the things that's providing the smooth feel in this ski. It never really feels unpredictable. It's a very intuitive feeling ski, actually, whether you're in soft snow or not. And I just, in general, I'm going to get to that conversation with Bob in just a moment here, but in general, I just want to say that I think Dynastar has done a fantastic job with the new M line. I never really like to say anything just straight up negative about skis, but they definitely, in my opinion, these skis are a step up from what we have been seeing from Dynastar in the past few years, and I'm really excited about it because I've been a fan of Dynastar skis in general for a long time. The intro that I threw in the beginning of this video, like, look at all those names that have all been on Dynastar skis, and I feel like the brand lost a little bit of excitement over the past few years, and it's starting to feel like it's coming back. Like I grew up watching Candide on his Dynastars, and Dynastar was cool, and these skis are. If I had to pick one word to describe these skis, it might very well be cool. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the conversation with Bob about performance. I hope we get to everything. As always, if there's something else that you want to ask us about, don't hesitate to leave us a question. We're certainly happy to talk more about these skis, or the M Pro, or the M Tour, or if you want us to compare these to something from another brand. It's kind of the thing that comes to mind first is Rossignol, because they're kind of Dynastar's sister brand, and it's kind of interesting because if we think about the twin tip range, this is kind of right in between the offerings from Rossignol, which is interesting. Although there is an M3 118 as well, so we kind of get the wider ones from both of those companies. But yeah, that's it. Enjoy the conversation with Bob, and we will talk to you soon. Hi, Bob.
Jeff, how's it going?
Pretty good. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Looks like you got some good fresh snow there.
Yeah, we I figured I'd find a shot of somebody on the M3 108. Definitely a great powder day ski, and I kind of miss powder days.
Yeah, that looks fun.
Cool. So I thought, we both had an opportunity to ski this ski. My hat's disappearing into the sky. But we both had an opportunity to ski the M3 108 a few different times this season. And excuse me, luckily we both got to ski them on powder days.
Yep.
They weren't quite as scenic as that powder day. But we definitely got some really good chances to ski them in deeper, softer snow. So what'd you think, Bob?
Pretty impressed. Both of these, the new Dynastar skis, the M Pros and M3s, are both really surprising. And I know you're talking about the hybrid core in the construction part of this.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to reiterate that and kind of talk about how it works, especially in conjunction with the shape. With that more tapered shape, moving the wide point down towards the center of the ski and up from the tail, really gives it that surfy and smeary feel that it's just a ton of fun in the soft snow. But yeah, taking that hybrid core with those strips of PU on the side, it's like you kind of never know how these things are going to work until you get out and ski it and you say, oh, well, it does work. It gives it a really playful feel, especially in the soft snow.
Yep.
You know, that 99 has the benefit of that longer metal plate underfoot to give it more stability on the hard snow. Not necessary in the 108, you know, where the application is designed for, you know, soft and fresh snow.
Sure.
Um,
I do think that that PU helps give it a little bit of a smoother feel than you'd get without it too.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's just an interesting material to use, and I think we've touched about it on it before. It's basically the same type of plastic used in like a 130 flex race boot.
Right.
So, you know, kind of having that suppleness to it gives the ski a really unique feel. And, you know, it flexes really well.
Yep.
You know, I think you had it on a softer day, the Waterville day
Yep.
that I was at. You know, there was firm snow underneath. So that, you know, it was interesting to see how it would react to that. And it handled it pretty well. Definitely just as smooth and effortless as a ski can get, you know, in the kind of 6 to 8 inch range that we were in. You know, just it was very impressive at how well that it handled that snow.
Yeah. Yeah. Super, super maneuverable, super playful.
Hmm.
Um, but it doesn't feel like, I think when some skis reach that level of maneuverability and surfy, they can get to a point where they're like not twitchy, but can kind of wash out in certain
Yeah.
situations.
Hmm.
And I don't really feel that way on these. I feel like they're a little bit like it's a really good blend of being surfy and playful, but also there's some stoutness to it, so to speak.
Yeah, you know, and a lot of that playfulness does come from that turned up tail,
Definitely.
you know, that you're able to kind of push off and play with. And you know, kind of the other nice thing about that too is that it's actually a pretty good ski on harder snow. You
Right.
know, not like ice, but you know, we kind of had to ski down to you know, the soft snow from the top of the mountain, and I was for a 108 underfoot. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah.
You know, not really quite the same as, you know, like an Enforcer 110 with the 2 sheets of metal, but you know, the construction that the 108 has with that Titanal plate underfoot, you know, it's more than acceptable on,
Yeah.
you know, groom stuff and harder snow.
Really high camber height too, which I pointed out earlier, which I think really helps too. You know, it's not long camber because there's so
Yeah,
much tip and tail rocker, but because the camber height is pretty high, it gives it a little bit more kind of, you know, responsiveness or
yeah,
what have you on firmer snow. And it also, I think, adds to like its playful poppy feel
yeah,
just with all
yeah,
that
for
camber.
sure. Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
Cool. I mean, I think it's a really cool ski. I think what Dynastar is doing is really exciting.
Yep.
And I think like probably the thing I want to end on here is like I feel like you and I would both really enjoy owning a pair of these, and I would venture a guess that we would mount them in different spots.
Yeah, I'm more of a traditionalist in terms of mount points for sure. You know,
Yeah,
I
and
just
I think the recommended mount point is 7.5 centimeters back or right around that from true center. So it's not like, you know, 12 back like we see on some skis, but I think it's an important thing to mention about this ski is you've got a range there, you know, and I think a lot of skiers, if you're gonna, you know, land switch or take off switch in the backcountry or what have you, you're gonna want to go a little bit further forward. So it's the type of ski that you can kind of adapt and customize a little bit depending on what you want to do with it.
yeah. Yeah, and that's the fun part about skiing in the soft snow is that, you know, it's not as
Yeah,
reactive, you know, as a more on piste or all mountain ski. You know, you get into this free ride range, and chances are you're using these in soft snow,
sure.
where you can make those adjustments and have it work out to your benefit. You know, you mount these forward and ski it on groomers, you're going to notice a bigger difference than when
Yeah,
you're in soft snow for sure.
yeah. Cool. Bob, anything that you want to close with? Any closing thoughts on the M3 108?
Great graphics. You know, a lot like most of these new Dynastars for 2021 look fantastic.
Yeah,
It was slightly unnerving. I think I mentioned to you in just our passing notes
you did.
that the white tips are just, you know, fortunately we got to ski it in powder, but the tips are pretty white and you just kind of lose track. I know I shouldn't be looking down at the fronts of my skis, but you know, I think it was the first like white powder ski I'd ever skied on, and it just kind of it took me by surprise that I couldn't see the tips of my skis. But you know, overall, just, you know, really nice graphics, and you know, with the shape and the width and the build, I think that they're going to get a lot of good response from this ski for sure.
Yeah, I think so too, and I agree on the graphics and just the design and everything all together. They're clean. You know, they're a well-designed ski, both in shape and function, and also graphics.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Bob, I appreciate all the input.
Yeah, my pleasure.
What, 6 months? When do we get to ski powder again?
I don't
Months?
know. Seems like forever.
Let's just go out on a limb and say like 6 or 7 months from now, hopefully we can go ski some powder on an M3 108.
Deal.
All right, sounds good. Bob, have a great rest of your day.
All right, you too, Jeff. See ya.